Oh, I'm at Mountain Gun. I'm going to climb this mountain. When I get to the top, I'm going to do my Friday video. So we are at, I don't know if you can even see that, Glasshouse Mountains Park, and I'm at the bottom so far, and I'm going to climb to the top, or walk. It's mostly stairs, this one, but there's my track. Let's do this. Boom. Okay, I've reached the halfway-ish mark. Oh, I call it the halfway mark anyway. Ooh. Stop there, I'll show you the view I get. Can you see? I'm hoping you can see. I'll just do that. Halfway mark! Yeah! See, when you need to climb a mountain, you gotta go the whole way. But halfway marks are fun to stop at and get a good look on how far you've come, you know? See you at the top! Bye-bye. People coming. Ah! Bye. Blah, 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 blah. Boom. There's people that were up the top, and a whole backpacking group came, and now I have to go search for a quieter spot to do my video, so stay tuned. I'm figuring it out. I'll be back in a sec. Holy moly. I am a crazy person, because literally the spot I found is on a cliff. Oh my god. Alright, I'm going to get comfortable. Okay, I'm seated in a spot that is like literally, there's just cliff right down there. Anyway, but I kind of had to do this because I reached the top, and I've picked a day to climb this mountain when a bunch of like 20 odd people have done it at the same time. Like, seriously, what's the odds of that? Considering every time I've climbed Mountain Gun, I've been pretty 2 or 3 people come, but I'm talking 20 to 30 people. I think there's a whole backpacking gang, which they're cool. At least I get to meet some peoples if I want, but right now I want to do this Friday video. So here we are. Friday video, Love a Laugh TV, yes. On a bloody mountain, on a cliff, and you know what? Beautiful, rewarding moment is when you've reached the top. So all the work to get up here doesn't even matter anymore because I got here. Yeah. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about trust. But I mean trusting yourself, because I was talking to someone the other day about this, and it's actually realised, sorry, I'm just getting comfortable, there's flies and things. I don't mind the butterflies, but all these other crazy things are just all over the place. Okay, so I was talking to someone the other day about me trusting myself, and apparently in my numerology numbers too, that I got curious about, and I got told that I'm missing a number that is to do with trust, and I got to learn to trust myself more, which I slowly but surely am doing. And the reason why this came up is because I was talking about one of my fears of talking in front of people, believe it or not, and I talked about an experience of mine back in high school. Now, I'm the type of person that can get up and do karaoke, can get up and muck around, and it dawned on me, because I started to talk about this story that I had an assignment where we had to get up in front of the class. Now, the assignment that I remember is quite simple. Now, it wasn't that hard, but the way I was taking the assignment and how it was written, I was confusing myself and making it seem like it was a complicated task. Oh, this grass behind you is spoking me. Anyway, in the long run, the assignment was just about pretending you're an exchange student in America, and you're going to tell the class about what Australia is like. Simple, right? But no, the way assignments were written and the way I was reading it, I just wasn't grasping what it was asking me to do properly. So, being that age, what was I, 16, I ran to Dad. I always ran to Dad to get some help advice, whatever, if I was losing the plot because I just couldn't get it right. Not to mention, I admit, I own up to the fact that I'd leave it last minute. Pretty bad for that. So the night before it's due, I hadn't had anything, so I'm asking Dad to help me. And thanks, Dad. You always helped as much as you could. And this time, Dad just wrote a few sentences, mind you. So he did some of my work. He wrote a few sentences to start me off, to get me going, and thought I could just take on from there. Which I did. I walked away and I read what Dad had started with and kept writing from there and thinking, yep, okay, I think I know what I'm doing here. However, the next day when I went to school to deliver the speech, the talk, this is what happened for me. I got up in front of the class and I started speaking, doing my talk, and I was confident, head up, held high, shoulders back, with the section that my dad wrote, because I felt like it must be correct, Dad wrote it, and yeah, I was confident with that bit. When it got to the bit I had written, I started to close off, mumbled my words, and fear beat me in that moment, and I told the teacher, I can't do this, sorry, and I sat down and I didn't complete it, which didn't give me the greatest mark, obviously. A couple of days later, the teacher pulled me up to ask me what went on for me in that moment. Now, I couldn't really be honest, and like, I didn't want to tell her, actually, the bit that I wrote, I said really confidently, was actually my dad's work. I actually just told her I just got scared. But really, when I realised what happened for me is I wasn't trusting my own work. Because she actually ended up going on to tell me that what I'd wrote was perfect and exactly what was needed for that assignment. But me, I wasn't trusting my work. I wasn't trusting that what I had was good enough, was correct, was right. And that's why I find karaoke and things like that easy, obviously, because it's somebody else's song, right, that I'm singing. It's not my words, it's not my content. So, of course, I'm confident and okay with that. But when it comes to my own stuff, my own written journaling, or my own, even these videos, I had these on my mind for ages, and I was procrastinating because I was thinking, what if I get it wrong? What if I say something wrong? What if I not make sense? But I've had to push past it every time, every week, and tap into the best mindset that I can. And I feel actually powerful and wonderful that I can do that. But at the end of the day, the other talk I had with someone actually made me realize a lot of patterns in my life where I wasn't trusting myself, and this is why I struggled to speak up. So it's a good awareness for me, and I now continue to practice and learn the trusting of myself and my own stuff. Like these videos, they're all just me from the heart, and I'm mostly winging it, if I'm honest. I'm not even preparing them. I just come up with the idea that I'm going to talk on, and I'm going for it. So today I ask you to go away from this and learn to trust yourself more. Do not be attached to the outcome that might happen if you have to speak up to something or whatever it might be. But what you need to do is trust that what you're doing or saying in that moment is correct for you, and that's speaking your truth. I hope I've made sense. See, I'm even saying that. I know I've made sense, I'm going to say. And I hope this has made someone go, oh wow. But anyway, that's just a little story of mine to share. I'm still on top of this mountain, so I'm going to enjoy the beauty of the moment. Have a beautiful Friday. Bye-bye. Okay, I'm back to do the last little bit because I'm going to share with you what just happened. One, because I'm real and I don't fuck around. Like, I don't do bullshit. So here's truth. After I talked on my trust yourself part of the video, I tapped into the wrong mindset. I was actually really frustrated the fact that there were so many people up on the mountain and that I couldn't do the video the way I envisioned. And of course, like, I know I improvised, but anyway, of course, once I completed that bit, guess what? They all left. Top of the mountain became free. And I was thinking, seriously, Are you playing with me, universe? Because this is just crazy. As soon as I get there, buttload of people show up. I eventually improvise, get it done, and then they decide to leave after I'm completed and decide I'm just going to go with that one take. And I kind of laughed, but at the same time I was frustrated. So when I decided to start walking down the mountain, I was in the mindset of frustration and a little bit irritable, and I can admit it. But guess what happened next? And I can laugh about it now because I've used the whole walk down the mountain to recap my mindset and make it better. Woo! Which is something. But up there I was frustrated and I started walking down, and yep, you guessed it, I fell. Guess why I fell? Because in my head, my hand's still shaking from it. In my head I thought, what next? I'll probably fall as well, stepping down here. And guess what happened as soon as I said that, put it out there? It happens. Because I was focused on silly things like that. And I injured myself, so I half cleaned it up. There's a gash out of my hand here, but it was pissing with blood before. It's gory. Got a bit of a graze on my knee, and this leg, if I can show you, is grey. It still stings a bit and it's a bit sore, but I got the momentum up to just keep walking down the mountain. So I did that so I can tap in the right mindset, and as I went down, the positive stuff came from it, and I laughed because I thought, how ironic. I just talked about trusting yourself, and I did it to myself again. I didn't trust myself walking down the mountain. I started thinking I'll fall, and I did. And I did good tumble. Actually, it would have been a really cool YouTube hit if someone got that on bloody camera now that I think about it. But it wasn't fun at the time, and it bloody hurt. But at the end of the day, how ironic, what I'm talking about today, and I just went against it. So sorry to myself. I will continue to trust myself and keep that in mind. It's back to mindset, people. Remember, it always starts with here. So I'm breathing it in and just wanted to share that. Okay, at the end of the day, here's a big positive swing on that altogether. I'm still alive, baby. Man, mountain ain't got shit on me. Okay, have a good day. Bye.